Hello and welcome to the Terminus podcast for the weeks of May 30th, 2015.
Woo.
I am your dispatcher Ellis, otherwise known as Train Man. With me, my engineers are Weibold, JDur, and Milky.
Casa Chase.
Wrong person. And with us, our brakeman is Kevon.
Whoop whoop.
And this would have been a nice momentous occasion to do the podcast over the live stream of 611, but we were all very late, so...
We can't learn how to film early.
So, yeah. So the train terminated without us.
Okay, this week we're in beautiful Crescent, Pennsylvania, and it's dark.
Dark.
However,
Legal
we're
Monopoly.
not going to pay attention to the fact that it is dark and move on from the fact that it is dark.
But I think I see a star.
I see a couple.
Eh.
I also see a lamppost.
Yay, lamppost!
Damn it, I have a thing up that has I have a sticky note with my confirmation code for my flights on it, and it keeps falling off my monitor. I need to get a new sticky note.
No.
Anyways. Yeah, I'll put on a sticky note, but that'll fall off the monitor. Anyways. Something's never changing now.
It is sticky.
Sticky.
It's sticky.
Does anybody here have something we can segue sticky to? Didn't think so.
Somebody in
Anyways.
New York had some sticky fingers this past week.
Sticky fingers on some copper. They jacked a bunch of copper cabling in the New York subway system on the, I think it was the C and the A. Yeah, 500 feet of copper cable.
See.
Jesus. Suspended the C and the A service from Rockaways, which is a station way down in the middle of nowhere. And...
Does New York even have nowhere?
No, not really, but to New Yorkers, it's not Manhattan. So, it's hold on. I'm gonna get a map here, and point out where Rockaways is, if I can. Let's see. I don't think actually. I'm not even sure I know it well enough to find the damn thing. This friggin' subway system, man. Broad channel. Far Rockaway. Yeah. Okay. It is far. Needless to say, it's far. In fact, it's called Far Rockaway, which is interesting.
Wow, guys. Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
Mott Ave. So you've got the blue line, which is the A service, and apparently it suspended the C service as well, which runs not to there, but it ends at Elucid Ave. So it must have been before Elucid Ave. It's in the middle of what is this? It's in the middle of Brooklyn, is where it is.
Brooklyn.
So towards the north. So towards the northeast corner of Brooklyn, the blue line runs off the map. Or not off the map, but out of Brooklyn. And it must have been before that because it suspended C service as well. So
Gosh darn it, Brooklyn.
Alright, the blue line.
actually,
is this
yeah.
Train fever?
No, it's not train fever. It's the A and the C. Copper wire sold salvage yards could net between $1 and between $1 and $2.40 a pound.
Wow.
$1 and $2.40 per pound. Owner of Rockaway Recycling.
Well,
for 500 feet. Well, this is a spread. The thieves could rake in between $300 and $1,500.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's so many different types of wire for all these different tracks, he said. So they don't know, exactly what the wire was particularly. But it was just, they tore out all this cabling, whatever it was made of. But yeah, it's over. Riders unaware of the transit snack had to deal with extra packed trains. Some A trains were forced to end runs early at the Elucid Ave station, last stop on the C line, so it was after Elucid.
There's a train coming.
Is there? Yeah, things have gotten awfully bright. Yeah, here comes one.
Train.
Is it the helpers?
No. Nope.
Nope, it's a train. Yeah, so
I
they
heard the-
jacked 500 feet of copper cable out of the A and the C line of the Rockaways, and that's our MTA news for this week. Because I normally don't report on it because there's normally just a smorgasbord of route changes and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More things for people to grumble about.
More things for New Yorkers to grumble about, specifically,
Pearl Harbor.
which they're quite good at doing.
Yes.
Uh-oh, and there go the dogs. Anyways,
Marco, why
I would-
you bark?
I would definitely grumble if somebody beats the T1 to the speed record.
Yeah, which is what some people are trying to do with the ATSF Gusta.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, remember that Santa Fe Hudson we talked about a while ago? Yeah, it's back, and some college students are looking at it like it's extremely efficient, especially with the prospect of biofuel use.
Yeah.
What these students are planning to do is hopefully gain custody of the locomotive, which is impossible, if we've already kind of gone over.
Well,
Modify it slightly to be...
It's not completely impossible. I think they've made headway on that.
Yeah, well, they're hoping to get the engine and then modify it so it is, bigger, faster, stronger. We have the technology, we can rebuild it, and streamline it, and use it as, like, the ultimate locomotive. This is kind of like the, kind of like England's...
Ace 3000, or, yeah.
Yeah, the AC.
Sort of, and it's kind of like the 5MT that England was doing a while ago, where they were trying to revitalize steam with, all this new age technology and everything. I don't really think anything's going to come of it, but it'd be cool anyway.
there is
Okay.
stuff coming up from what I've
Obama,
heard.
please.
Obama,
Thanks,
please.
Obama.
Obama, please. All you don't let railroads do anything fun, except for that one on the East Coast with the black and white paint.
Yeah.
He helped
I've made
Steamtown,
a
I
terrible
guess.
mistake.
Maybe.
Steamtown. Poor Steamtown. At least they're getting a little bit more money. They're still broke though. No real big news out of Steamtown. The biggest thing recently is their excursion schedule, and I covered that. If you want to hear about that, I will put that in the cargoes. I'll give another link to the Steamtown excursion schedule. But yeah, speaking of the T1, anyways, and the proper T1.
Shut up.
We now have a headlight. So you know what we were saying about little victories.
Mhm.
We've got we've got a Keystone number plate. We've got some springs, and we've got a headlight.
Wow.
We've got a mold for the wheel, and we're still working on rounding
Won't
up
be
funding.
long now.
We're still working on rounding up funding to get the wheels cast, which is something. It's really going to be something.
We just need another.
The thing
You know-
that's what.
We need another Ross Roland on this project.
We need a we need to
Someone with
resurrect
like a few
we
million.
need to
to throw
resurrect
around.
Nelson Blount.
We need to resurrect Blount so he can resurrect the locomotive.
No, we just go to Steamtown and at the cool
Start
look at the
stealing
ice.
parts.
No, at the cool look at the ice industry thing. We find his
God.
head frozen in one of the.
He's like cryogenically frozen in a
Yeah.
reefer.
Yeah.
He's like duct tape. He's like been duct taped to the ceiling of a car, and nobody's ever noticed him.
Wow. He died.
And he still has all
he
that
died
money.
in a plane
and,
crash,
interest
guys. I don't
is
think.
rolling.
Okay, well then he's frozen in a plane crash. That's taped to the ceiling of a
A very large boxcar.
yes.
Of a
One of
Cessna.
the German meter gauge or yeah. Or not
Breitschper
meter
bomb
gauge, but
boxcars.
the 3 meter,
Yeah.
9-foot gauge.
Fact.
Yeah.
He's taped to the top of a solar freaking freight car.
This is the weirdest thing that I have seen in a very long time, and I never knew that they did this, and it's brilliant, but it's stupid at the same time. And as we
love
were
how
going
it's
along earlier, as well as seeing a Jivo with a really, really, really big paint splotch where it had lit on fire.
Oh no!
Yes.
We had the
My
BNSF
plane is
ballast trains
flipping.
run with like an engine at either end and like 5 or 6 ballast cars between them. And the engine at one end had just completely flamed out. Like the paint, it was a Burlington Fay engine because the SF had just been like.
Burlington Fay.
But anyway, these ballast cars. Apparently, it's fairly common for ballast cars to have this, and they have solar panels on the side.
Wait, why ballast cars?
I don't know. It's like
What do
I
they
looked-
power?
I don't know. I looked up
dumper?
freight
I don't
car.
know.
I saw it on the side of them today, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I looked it up. Apparently, like CSX, BNSF, and NS do this, where there's solar panels on ballast cars, and they're only ballast cars, and I don't know why.
Well,
What are
maybe
they
are
powering?
they wait? Are they ballast cars owned by the railroad in question?
Yes.
That's probably why. Because those are the cars that they own. I don't know why they need the solar panels, but I can understand why they don't put solar panels on the other cars.
Well, yeah, but well,
maybe it's
that's
to power the dumping.
that can be sort of true and sort of not true because there's still other cars that the railroads do own.
Yeah, well, no. Again, I still don't have an explanation as to why they want to put the solar panels on them or why it's you know,
Only ballast cars.
Yeah, only
CSX,
ballast
you're
cars.
so smart.
I
But I
don't get it, but I'm like, yeah, I guess it's more room for this type of thing, but why hopper cars? You'd think that they'd get dirty because of all the dust and get the crap beat out of them every time you loaded one of the cars.
Also, what are you powering with these solar panels?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
It's not like they're
Maybe
big solar panels. It's not like it's taking up the side of the car. This, you can see in this picture that I posted, if Ellis would kindly hold it up to the Bandicam
Hold
people.
on. Let me see it. Where is it? Did you
It's-
drop it in the thing?
It's
Or-
in the
Oh,
it's in the link.
It's on the dock. It's on the dock. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll grab it.
It's
Oh,
like a
solar-
2x4. It's like a 2x4. It's not big.
Oh.
Is
you
it
know
on
what? It's
both
probably,
sides?
If it's something small like that, say I didn't know. If it's something small like that, it might be to power. I don't know.
I
It's
feel like
it's
it
not
might-
going to give you enough power to do anything significant
You know,
with it.
Well, I mean, you see those size solar panels on like the little like things on the side of the highway. So it's probably just to power like a couple of lights or something. I don't know what. Or
Well,
Or-
they've got
or like a ballast
they'll.
car.
I could see maybe it's like a Fred or something. But
Yeah.
again, the locomotive generator usually will power a Fred, and
yeah. Well, I
why
mean,
does every single
do-
car need a Fred hookup?
Maybe GPS tracking also. That's
Yeah, it could be
Gee,
that.
okay, yeah, actually, that's probably the best
maybe
answer
it's not-
here.
yeah.
If they
That's
track
what-
their ballast cars, again, kind of oddly specific.
I don't know. If you guys do know, give us a comment below
yeah.
because this is something that is weirding me out, and I'm not really sure why they would put solar panels on hopper cars. But yeah, it seems fairly commonplace.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is at the very least interesting. Yeah.
Good.
Well, speaking of interesting things,
I mean,
I
I'd hope
picked
this
up
whole podcast was, but go on.
Yeah.
well,
Speaking of interesting things, of which we are not.
I've picked up a new jurisdiction, the Durban and
course you
Greenbrier
did.
Valley Railroad / Cassachays, because the Durban the Durban.
Oh my
Railroad-
god, you need a better name.
Whatever.
The just call it.
Vitamin me the Vegemin.
Just call it the DGV.
Okay, the DGV.
Call it Doug.
Sometime last year, I think they bought Cass, so they're under the same ownership.
Oh.
This. Yeah,
wait. Your family
Those-
bought class?
I wish.
Well,
They bought class as if they didn't have any before. They still don't have any.
Why
Oh,
won't?
I was gonna target it just at JDur, but man, I won't.
Okay, sorry.
Why?
Just like diss his whole family.
Okay,
What?
hey, Kevon targeted as his family. I would have gone for JDur too, but Kevon
What?
said family.
Yeah.
It's Kevon's fault. Blame him.
He
was not my
wasn't aiming for the diss.
He
I was
did.
aiming like no. I was
No,
saying
he
his
said
family did
he
buy
said
it.
your family bought it. That's not a bad thing.
He said your family bought class.
No, Cass. That's.
No, you said class.
I meant to say Cass.
Oh, you said class.
Okay.
It's your fault.
All right, shut up.
Fight, Tier 1 jets.
But for those of you,
No. Hey.
no. But yeah, the DGV, they run several excursions, all throughout West Virginia, blah blah blah. Talk more about it later. But more
What?
importantly, they
Okay.
This is the real scale section. This
Talk
is
more
it.
about it. I'll talk more about it later when I have to get a point to come back to it because I forgot.
but the sort of relating to this, a few weeks ago on the Transforms, I discovered Buffalo Creek and Gully Railroad 28 on number 4 is going to be restored to operation at the Cass Railroad shops from the North Carolina Transportation Museum.
speaking of random shops.
Oh boy.
So apparently, I think this is just a misspeaking on this Redditor's part, but
1361 conspiracy theory. The EBT's out to get standard gauge. Go
so,
EBT.
okay, you know how the EBT is really, really broke?
Broker than broke down.
Broker than broke down. Like at this point, they're just living off volunteers that are basically just fixing the roundhouse and stuff every time something breaks, and they can't run track. Well, there's a guy who's what is he? He works with the Altoona Railroaders Memorial Museum, the executive director at the Altoona Railroad Memorial Museum. He's slowly buying up the EBT line so they can restore it to service.
Yes, good job.
The last chunk he needs to get, he's purchasing from the NS interchange, like back to the shops.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why he didn't start the other direction, but whatever. Maybe he could just get that easily and is starting to get the tougher stuff. Because the remaining bit, which is from the Ogwick Creek Bridge, includes the Orbisonia / Rock Hill furnace shops and equipment, and the line to Robertsdale. It has about a $4 million price tag on it, and he's trying to work on buying that.
Only $4 million?
Yeah, only $4 million.
Well, no, I know that sounds extremely like only $4 million, but like it's.
I mean, it's true. It's a pretty significant stretch of railroad
like
track.
for a railroad, $4 million is not a lot for a railroad through Pennsylvania.
It's a narrow gauge railroad.
Hey. Wow.
Fired.
I mean, they're saving one sort of, so I mean, it must not be that expensive.
I mean, why? If he has all that money, T1 trust please.
Please. I mean,
No,
he's
fix
probably
the EBT.
to be completely honest, he's probably working with them because Altoona Railroad Memorial Museum does a lot with PRR. But there's a lot
Including
of PRR
steal
stuff.
their boiler.
Well, okay, so in that car shop, there's something that doesn't belong here, the Redditor writes. The boiler of PRR 1361.
God.
What? And I read that and went, huh? Where is this boiler? Not that it really matters anyways, because apparently it isn't worthwhile, but...
It's a crap boiler.
Crap boiler.
Thanks, Penzi. The standard superseded you.
The standard superseded us. Oh. Well,
Get wrecked.
when you're not alive to roll with the changes, it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
We would have been the standard by now, given the chance.
Well, what I don't
God,
get
that
is
was
how did they like?
I don't know. It was I feel
Why is it that they're so badly prepared for this and everybody else is? Because if it wasn't regulation, then why is everyone else's boiler up to the spec? And if it is
honestly,
regulation, then what's the issue?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go
because the standard
personally,
hasn't really changed with commercial steam traffic since the Penzi went under.
It hasn't, and that's why I think it's just a sort of. I mean, not really a rumor, but like something isn't right with this. So, and it just ended up getting called. Well, the boiler isn't good enough. Oh well, okay. And I mean, the project was on the sidelines by that point, anyways. But I don't know. I'm sure if you pulled some strings, it wouldn't be that tough to get. If you pulled some strings and had some money, it wouldn't be that tough to get.
Politics,
please.
ladies and gentlemen.
Politics, yeah, exactly.
That's how it works.
That's how it
Cross
works.
rolling, please.
To get 1361 out of the narrow gauge shops and back where it belongs.
Narrow gauge specific confirmed.
Narrow gauge. It's been done.
What hasn't been done?
Also, I wanted to point out something funny with the T1 Trust. That once we get that first set of drivers schmelted and cast, we're no longer going to be able to transport around all of our PRR parts easily.
You can no longer move the locomotive in the back of some schmuck's van.
Yeah, exactly. We right now have a keystone plate, some springs, and a headlight. Once we get the driver's cast, that's going to be at least one pair of 80-inch driving wheels. That's a little bit much.
Mm.
The more you build, the harder it's going to be to impress people that can't come to you. Basically,
Yeah.
But the more people will come to you.
Build it, and they will come.
Although sometimes the engine comes to you. Isn't that right, JDur?
Yes, the T1 is home.
The other T1.
Quote unquote home.
Quote unquote T1.
Shut up. But what is it? Sometime last week, yeah. Sometime last week.
Outside.
Oh Jesus Christ! Hang
Yes, my
on.
child.
Quote unquote home.
I had the dispatch radio turned on for the cam.
Oh,
Jesus.
I am the man
We got a
who
train coming,
urges
though.
the blood.
That's good.
Homer status.
T1.
T1.
Yeah.
Other T1.
You know, sometime last week the T1 arrived at its new home, new temporary home at the Midwest Railway Preservation Society.
Quote unquote.
Right
Where
now
is
it's
this?
just sit.
It's in the
Cle-
Midwest.
it's in no. It's in Cleveland, right? Where in Cleveland?
Somewhere. I'm not
Okay, thank
entirely
you.
sure where.
Well, because
in
I'm
Cleveland.
going to Cleveland and I want to like look in the window or something. I know they're
I
probably
don't know
not
if
going
you'll
to be.
be. It's deep. It's sort of deep in a CSX.
I will look in the window.
Oh no.
Oh
Stupid
God!
radio.
Someone turn off the radio.
Terminus podcast 3 months from now. Ellis is arrested by CSX Rail Police.
Oh, 3 months
Details
from
at
now.
11.
No, because he.
It's okay,
No,
we'll
because he
call
prevented
Conrail.
a derailment.
Prevented a derailment.
Prevented a derailment. Hang on.
Therefore arrested.
I was just calling Conrail.
No.
I'm present at the site of the derailment, calling Conrail.
Wow.
Conrail. This Conrail. CSX derailed again. This is nothing new, kid. Go back home.
We already know.
We know, kid. We have this on a constant basis.
Anyways,
But yeah, T1's home.
611's home.
You know- Yeah, wait.
Yeah.
I want to give a big thank you to NS, UP, BNSF, all the class 1s and stuff that
I want to thank all the little
everyone that
guys.
participated.
All the little guys.
Everybody that participated in getting this locomotive
See,
here.
this is when we need to. This is when you call out all the random short lines that you know about that don't matter at all. Thank you to.
And Greg's bologna cart for giving the guys sandwiches while they were working that day.
The opening.
That one day.
And the Russians for pointing the 2 nukes at the hot dog stand.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But you know, same old. Donate to the T1 project, both T1 projects.
Quote
Leave the
unquote.
Ruski, we are reading
Donate to the
radiation
4070
signals.
restoration. Donate to the Roundhouse restoration. They need money.
Roundhouse,
Donate to the
H-A-U-S.
Place funds that doesn't.
House.
Donate to all of the things.
Run
Yeah.
house.
If everyone if everyone we know that listens to this podcast donates $1, somebody will be $3 richer.
then we will have exactly $3.
Oh, else.
I mean, they
The
can
next
buy a
open
few
house for
bolts
this
and
place
stuff
is,
here and there.
Saturday, August 22nd.
Damn it.
At noon.
Not only am I gonna be home for that, and that would be long. It'd be about a month after I left Cleveland. It's the day of my family reunion, so I couldn't get out there if I wanted to.
Family reunion is the Terminus.
It's sad how true that is.
Boobity-boppity. Boobity-boppity-boobity. Peter, you can't speak Italian just because you have a mustache.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. That's the point. You just speak German angrily, and you sound like you're.
German is angry.
Yeah!
That's love.
You can speak German nicely and sound angry.
I love
But-
you.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
Radio.
It's impossible to speak Italian softly, and without waving your arms around.
I was gonna say, and without and without looking like a bird.
What do you mean? That's part of the language. I'm sorry, actually, that's part of the language.
Ugh. It's like a hybrid of some other language that it was, and
It's a hybrid of
sign.
it's a hybrid of sign language and Latin to create
Ugh.
Italian.
Right.
Right.
Well, speaking of locomotives coming home, Milky.
Yes, 6 Ebb and recently made its way home.
Didn't we
Yes.
just talk about this?
We
Under-
mentioned it very briefly, and I mentioned it at the beginning.
I
but
tried
we
to segue to it earlier with the restoration at Cass.
How?
I said, the 280s from North Carolina Transportation Museum. That's where 611 got fired up.
But I think.
Never mind. Go on.
But back home with 1218 and 2156.
Woo.
Big
Which
three.
Yep. NNW Point Trick confirmed. 2015.
Yeah.
And I have some whale founding, actually, that is meaningful for once.
Oh, good.
Beep.
Oh,
Beep.
I have some too. I
beep,
need to talk
beep,
about that.
Beep.
I
beep.
could have. TJ and I each racked up like $1,000 in fines if we'd gotten caught. Anyways, go on.
I'm only here so one could find.
At
This
least-
week, Ellis gets arrested by the Providence and Worcester Railway Police.
At least
Tune in
$1,000
next time to see the crewmen say.
at least $1,000 each.
Jesus Christ.
How you gonna say?
At most, I had like 100, but
I don't know.
2 heritage units were seen on the Coast Guard.
Beep.
The
Beep.
Amtrak Veterans unit and the Amtrak exhibit train with their F40 that they have.
Metal machine.
Yes. Speaking of, well, not exactly metal machine, but Amtrak Cascades. The point in the
Beep.
western.
Beep. Beep.
I was well fan the point in the western Toledo Hall, or even the yard, and then all of a sudden I don't hear anything, but they
And
stop.
then it hits you.
No,
Utsu.
You don't hear anything, and then. Utsu.
Yeah, you don't hear the beep 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 beep.
well, actually, you do.
No, you're reading that wrong, Jader. It's like a machine gets.
Because you're actually getting dive bombed by the Japanese.
Why did I get a point?
You got a point for insulting JDur's family.
Kevon started that.
No.
Anyways, go on.
But anyway,
No.
the new Cascades decide to pull by the Toledo Hall. Beautiful.
Was it
Oh,
beeping?
No, it wasn't actually.
Oh, okay, I thought you said you were hearing it.
I thought I could, but nah.
Beep.
It no beep.
It no beep.
It can go
Yeah.
beep. So
No, I know beep.
Beep, 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 beep,
Why
beep,
is
beep.
half of this thing highlighted? Yes, you have a point. Who
I didn't
undid
mean
one?
to I didn't mean to
Why
do
won't
that.
it?
My mouse like went bonkers. No.
I won't.
Yes, you have a point.
trying to.
Deal with it. You can persecute JDur when he does something stupid.
Jader.
What?
It's a
Everybody be
trap.
quiet.
Whatever it
Everybody
is,
be
it's a
quiet.
trap.
Everybody be quiet. Hey, Jader.
What?
A point for silence.
No.
Off with your head.
Anyways,
That concludes my.
I had
topic.
some real rail fanning.
Wow.
Real illegal rail fan.
Hmm.
Okay, so there are signs posted everywhere around the Amtrak main line. Trespassing on the main line
You
is a
shall not pass.
$500 fine.
Could result in becoming a red mist.
Yes, that too. But trespassing on the main line is a $500 fine. I did it twice. Within a few hours of each other.
God.
So, TJ and I, this is Memorial Day. TJ's got nothing to do. Text me. Hey, let's go rail fanning. That's the abridged version because we were planning ahead of time. But, so we drive up to Pawtucket. We park where we normally park. We walk over to the railroad tracks. Same parking lot we
Oh,
parked
took it.
before. The light bulb factory shut down, so now this stretch of track is useless other than as a thoroughfare. It had like half a dozen factories on it, and they all do nothing now. But it's now just the connection between Providence Yard and Valley Falls Yard. When we were driving up there, Route 95 goes past Providence Yard, empty. The place which is normally has at least 2 or 3 strings of like empty hoppers, the place is empty. I'm looking at it and going, huh, where are all the freight cars? We get to Valley Falls, here are all the freight cars. There was no empty space in that yard. Every single track was full completely. And so, there's nobody there, it's Memorial Day, so there's nobody there. I cross the street doing like the pelvic thrust, choo-choo, no brakes thing. And then we walk into the yard. We walk into the yard, and I'm like, huh, well, we saw a high side gondola, and a lot of them are high side gondolas, but I was like, hey, I wonder if this is the one that has the hole in the bottom. So I climb up on the side of it. No, not that one. So I just kind of climb down. I put my cup on the coupler. Appropriate. TJ puts his water bottle down. I was like, I'm gonna go climb on that string of hoppers. So I climbed up on top of the string of covered hoppers, and I'm walking along the roof, and I'm just sort of looking around, and I'm like, the whole time, man, this place is packed. There's some high cube boxcars. There's some people in the neighborhood that the rail yard is adjacent to. It's sort of looking at me funny. Some kids like playing basketball on the street.
You're setting a bad influence.
I could have sworn somebody said, I know nobody's supposed to be in there, or something like that. The yard, though, is completely open. There's, no gates or anything like that. You just wander in. But, I'm climbing on this, so I took a picture of TJ climbing up on it. He didn't want to come all the way on top in Valley Falls yard. I convinced him to climb on the hoppers later when we walked all the way down to the other end of the line there, where it meets the Amtrak main line. And this was where I racked up my first $500 fine. Also, there was a $150 fine for crossing a bridge. That was a Providence and Worcester bridge. I did that twice, so that's a total of $1,300 in fines. We climbed up. I'm not sure if there's a fine for climbing on the hopper cars. There was a train of hopper cars parked at the junction there. So we climbed up on them. We sat on top of them. I was on Skype with some of you guys at this point.
Yep.
And we're watching the Amtrak trains go by on the main line there. It's like, ACS 64 with a regional, a Acela, MBTA going one way, stops at Providence, goes way down to Providence, comes back the other way. And then... Actually, it came back the other way at kind of an inopportune moment. Because we decided, we were hanging out on top of the hopper cars, and TJ gets down and he looks around for a while, and he sort of walks out onto where the main line is, and looks down and goes, there's the old Pawtucket station.
Pawtucket.
The Pawtucket Railroad Station was built a long while ago by the New Haven. It was, I think, in the teens, 19-something. when they were
some teen.
Yeah. When they were doing grade separation, and they basically put the tracks in a trench through Pawtucket, and they built the station on top of the trench. And it's like the brick station building, which is held up by concrete and I-beams. Concrete pillars and I-beams.
And bricks.
Yeah. And it's been abandoned, 1 divided by 0. You just broke it.
I did.
Technically that's infinity.
Well, you can't hold it against me because we'll never know.
I don't know. If you do your limits, it comes out to infinity.
Well, if there's
Calculus.
anything that we have learned from the past, the stupidity levels on this podcast are...
infinite.
Yeah. So...
Jesus. Okay, anyways.
I was going to say limitless because no limit, but...
Well, there is a limit there. It's as x 1 over x as x approaches infinity, or as x approaches 0, the result goes to infinity.
However,
back to illegal. So we decide to walk down to the Pawtucket station, which is built over the tracks. It's been remodeled, and by remodeled I mean they redid the tracks underneath it a few times. It's been shut down since 1981. It's kind of spooky as hell. But we're walking through this trench, right? We're walking through this trench to get to the station. Yeah, the staircases have all been torn down, so you can't get up into the station building anymore. The station is at street level, but it's like fenced off and chained off, and the entrances are actually bricked up with cinder blocks. It would be on the National Register of Historic Places, but there were concerns about the structural integrity of the building, so it's not. And
Well,
we are going to walk. We go to walk under it, and we do. But on the way there, we're walking along this 3-track main line, and we're walking sort of on the freight track, so there wasn't really anything to worry about. Memorial Day, nobody's around, and we hear the tracks start to ring, you know, and it's TJ's like, oh no, and we're out in the open. There's literally nowhere to hide. If the person in the cab of this F40 had cared a lick about people being on the train tracks, we probably would have been arrested right there. Because there was nowhere to go. We're in this trench, and we just sort of, I just step back and sort of lean against the wall, and TJ does the same thing, and the MBTA that went by us earlier goes back by us, and going backwards, because it's an MBTA and they have to point south all the time. It goes backwards, up the way and away, and I was like, oh, okay. And, we just sort of walked to the station, and we were waiting for something to come by. We were hoping something came by near 3, because apparently all Amtrak trains were going to blow their horns at 3 o'clock for Memorial Day. In honor of, Memorial Day.
In honor of Memorial Day.
Did Amtrak make sure they were on time?
There wasn't really a what?
I mean, it's Amtrak. They're never on time, so.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like, blow your horns at 3. 2 hours later.
No, you're in a quiet zone.
You're in a
oh, damn
quiet
it.
zone now!
Anyways, so nothing came by, and we ended up walking back, and then we went down to Mineral Spring Avenue, which nobody here knows where that is, but there's a railroad crossing there, and it services like a warehouse. And we parked near the warehouse, and we walked over the railroad crossing, and I did the same stupid motion. And we walked through this Y, which is partially abandoned. It's not used as a Y anymore, it's just used as a connection to the warehouse. So the switch points are locked, the switch stand is gone.
Paul took it.
What? Pawtucket. Yeah, we call it the bucket.
I just like saying Pawtucket.
Yeah. Here, I'll take you to Pawtucket. When
Pawtucket.
you come to Rhode Island, I'll take you to Pawtucket.
Huh.
We can climb on some hopper cars.
Pawtucket.
Anyways, this is my second $500 fine. We go into the Amtrak yard at it's the Providence and Worcester yard / would it be CSX? I don't know. I don't know who they actually interchange with there. I don't think they interchange with anyone. It's just a storage yard. We go into the Providence yard. Place is empty, except for like 4 cars. And from there you can see Route 95, the only interstate we have. The Amtrak main line is right there. You can see the MBTA yard. You can see another yard down the way, which is, I think, Amtrak. And so I just sort of climbed up on top of the hopper and took a picture and was like, this isn't so bad. And then we looked over and realized, there's a bunch of businesses that border this yard, and they're open right now. And there are people walking around to that parking lot that totally just saw us climb on top of these hopper cars.
Whoops.
Oh, hi. And so we just sort of climbed down and left and went home. Got totally lost on the way home because Pawtucket. But
Pawtucket.
Exactly. But that was my fine gathering adventure.
Mm.
For any law enforcement watching this, you didn't hear that.
For any law enforcement watching this, their email is personx at
Yeah. Person X.
They're the same people who They are both the same person who opened the door on one of your trains.
Open the Amtrak door on the Amtrak train.
Yeah, don't. This Ellis thing is a moniker. It's all lies.
We didn't talk about that on the Terminus, have we? That was after last week's, wasn't it?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we have not. Okay, new Person X story.
Okay.
Relating to what Weibold just said.
Yeah. Spoilers.
So, spoilers! Person X is dumb.
Person X got arrested.
He was in trouble. They took down his video. He was
in trouble.
Yeah.
Arrested.
Needless to say, he was in trouble. I'm not sure he was arrested, but he was definitely in trouble. He's not 18, so whatever. Anyways, he is on an Amtrak train. Goes, how? Okay, I'm just gonna go through this how I did before. You know how you're not allowed to stand in the vestibule on an Amtrak train while it's moving?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know how you're not allowed to open the door on an Amtrak train while it's moving?
Yeah.
And you know how you really shouldn't take footage out of that open door while the Amtrak train is moving and then post it on your private YouTube channel?
Yeah. I know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his video was probably taken down. And that's all we know. I came into the Providence Northern last week bearing Lee, and I'll talk about that later, but Ray Schofield was there to tell me, "Oh, so your friend Person X has been up to no good again." Of course he didn't say
He
Person
refers
X.
to him as Person X as
No.
well.
No, but you know,
Oh.
and then in brackets, Person X. To protect his identity.
To protect his identity, we've bleeped the name. As
Anyways. Kevon! Do you have anything 12 inches?
Yes,
to the
I
front?
have a few things.
Oh,
Well, so update on the Union Pacific fleet.
oh no.
It's not looking well. Not looking well
I'm
at
really
all.
not surprised.
yeah.
Well, I was looking on their Facebook page, and they finally posted a lot of stuff pertaining to the 3985 and the 844. I have yet to hear anything about the 4014. But, what happened? Here. I'll send this to you.
Yeah, I'll need that. Let's take a look.
So, basically, the 3985, there's corrosion everywhere.
Yep.
It's bad.
And whose fault is that?
Ow!
Well, supposedly it happened before Ed Dickens.
Supposed to be.
Allegedly.
Well, the thing is,
Oh.
the 3985 never ran since
People
Ed
know.
Dickens has been there,
Hmm.
which means that it's likely not his fault. They tried to use a new solution, and the solution corroded the insides, basically. So
Guys,
the 3985 is on the back burner, while the 844 and the
Is-
4014 are being restored.
Mhm.
And are also
About-
broken.
And are
Yeah.
also broken.
Well, the 4014 isn't broken, I guess.
Well,
not yet.
it doesn't run.
No. Yeah, but the 844, as it's basically in pieces right now. Hopefully,
Yeah.
they don't leave it outside in the rain.
Again.
Yeah,
Okay.
but so the drop pit broke on the 844, so they're fixing that.
Jesus.
And then there's just a lot of things. UP's not going well.
They're
It's
not having
going
a good
well at all.
time.
Well,
Well,
except
at
for
least
the-
they have
oh,
money.
Yeah.
Plenty of it. Speaking of people who have plenty of money, but the Texas government wants to stop them anyway, the Texas Central Railway, which is building a high-speed rail line from Houston to Dallas,
Woo!
is about to get blocked by the U.S. the Texas
Oh.
state government.
Because, and as we know, the Texas state government is always looking out for railroads.
Yes, they are. But so tucked in a 682-page budget passed by the Senate in April is a provision that would make any state funding. It cannot go to any high-speed rail lines. So basically, they're making it so that Texas Central Railroad cannot build the railway at all. The thing is, Texas Central, they don't want any money from the government. They're just doing it from their own pocket, which is good.
Good man. Good man.
It's good, but the Texas government's still trying to.
Also,
It's
and
bad.
and people say there are two things I want to say. People say, but and the first one is a little bit more. People say that, and people say there's no money in passenger rail.
I mean, there is.
Well,
There kind of is.
there is when you put it in the right place, but most of America isn't the right place.
Well,
I mean, this
and
is.
then-
Yeah.
And then people say Amtrak is getting in the way of passenger rail. Nope.
no.
Probably
Whoa.
not, actually.
No, they're kind of not to say they're doing the opposite, but
They're
They're not going against it.
yeah.
not going against it.
I'm sure Amtrak, whenever someone goes to pick up a route that either they can't do or they're currently doing and not making money on, they're like, yes, please take
Amtrak's
this.
like, thank you.
Amtrak is the guy sitting in the corner of the room like, I'm trying to make this work, guys. I'm trying to make this work. You guys are all over there doing your own thing. I'm sitting here trying to make this work, and when someone comes over, he's like, thank you.
Amtrak's basically reliving its past.
It's
basically reliving the
what do you mean
1970s.
reliving its past. There has been no change. It has always been broke.
Those who do not learn from the past are doomed to repeat it.
Those who do not make money are doomed to continue not making money.
Yeah. Penn Central.
Well, they weren't making money, but they didn't exactly do.
No, they
Bad.
weren't making money.
No, they weren't making money.
They weren't making money.
They were making money. However, simultaneously they were losing that money.
They were
more.
They were making money separated. They were making money pre-Penn Central.
Yeah, sure.
Sort of.
They were making money. I mean, they were turning a gross income. However, their gross expenditures outweighed that significantly.
Very much.
Because of, well...
Because of Penn Central.
Actually,
Yes, because of Penn Central. Because the merger was a terrible idea, so the Interstate Commerce Commission decided to punish them for making a terrible decision. And by punish them, it wasn't not let the merger go through, it's let the merger go through, knowing they're fail, and stick them with someone who's...
Knowing they're going to absolutely...
And stick them with someone who has it even worse.
Yep.
Okay, you want to do this? Take care of the New Haven, too.
Yeah. Aw, Dad. I don't want to take care of them.
They should have bailed the moment that was a thing.
Nope.
It's not the ICC's fault that the New York Central and the PRR went through with the merger in the end.
Okay.
Well.
I have two more articles.
Okay.
So Milky, you'll like this. So supposedly Houston, we have the steam locomotive for the Southern Pacific 982, and it's supposedly getting restored.
Ah, nice.
But that's basically all the good news surrounding it. Everything else is basically terrible.
I mean, I'll call that pretty good news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any locomotive being restored, it's a good thing, really. But
no, but the thing is, okay, so the Heber Valley Railroad, we basically donated the tender to the Heber Valley from the 982, and we were going to move the locomotive itself to north of Houston and Humble for a new railroad museum, but supposedly the railroad museum doesn't want the locomotive anymore. So it's kind of, we have an engine with no tender sitting in downtown Houston, and it's like, who's gonna take it?
I would, if I had the money.
I would, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, Ellis has taken his vocals. He's basically taken a big steak knife and kind of like rattled it around in his vocal cord area. So he's gone for duct tape to remedy that. What do you want me to say? You broke your vocals is what you said. Okay, then Audacity broke. Okay, then he didn't break Audacity.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Or are you back now? Okay, then are the viewers just sitting there and I'm just having a conversation with the silence? Viewers, I apologize. We can talk to Ellis in the background. His audio is just not being recorded.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we could move on.
Because this is filler. Filling up the time.
Okay.
So how about the Mets?
Train.
Train.
Is it a heritage unit? No. Oh.
Even though I thought
Hey, Amigo, a League of Monopoly. I see him. I saw him. He was up there.
they're betting on CSX right now, I bet.
Well,
So, yeah.
no. Again, the audience is just sitting there. It's like, no, yes. It's like,
Yep. Yeah.
we're conversing with Els. He's essentially saying that he really shouldn't be partaking in the conversation because it's just leading to like dead
White wall.
space in the air that is creating one-sided conversations.
And we
Oh boy.
oh boy. Oh,
Okay,
it's
Ellis is sputzing around. He's trying to find a way to synchronize the audio now that he's got Audacity rebooted.
Okay. Do I sound good? How do I sound?
You sound good.
So this,
Hey,
Yeah.
double train bow. Check it out.
Woo.
double train.
All right.
Yeah.
Is it then time to move on?
Wait. Shut up. Sync. That should be good enough.
Okay.
And by good enough, it's not my fault now if the... Well, it is completely my fault, actually. If the audio
Terminus
is...
podcast is not responsible for any injury that may come of Ellis's terrible audio. Anyway, with that, we move on to Locomotive Versus.
We're not responsible for injury from that either.
No,
Anyways, this week,
thing.
we have, in one corner, the Inverto-Battle.
God, forgot what we were doing, and now I remember. Is it bad because JDur's gone?
It's Milky.
Milky's defending the Inverto-Stache?
Yeah, Milky's
Yes.
defending the Inverto-Stache.
Yeah, then boo.
Why?
That was my answer.
Why?
Because I can.
Milky, you did Locomotive Versus last week.
Oh.
Do you want to defend it?
Well, no, I'm just saying, why is he doing it and not JDur? JDur's closer to it, and Milky just did
Well,
it.
I know that was
Dead.
what I expected, but Milky wanted to do it, and JDur said okay, and then JDur died. So
Okay, if JDur comes back, he gets... I don't even know.
no, we're just doing it so we have the Inverto-Battle versus.
I really don't think we
the
should do this one
Inverto-Stache.
without JDur, though.
Well, he's dead.
But he's not
so
gonna be-
We gotta move on with the show.
Do you-
That's like
do you want
his engine, though.
emergency abort? But he wasn't
Yeah.
going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it baffled me as well. But
It's really... I'm just having issue wrapping my head around it. My head is like... It's like pulled around a skull, which has difficulty, like, bending around confusing things. So, yeah. Well, it does. Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor. Anyways, so we need to do the thing.
Yeah,
The
we-
thing.
I have my thing open. It's actually a J1A or J. It's between a J1A and a J1E, and it doesn't say which one. So
It's a J.
it's a J1.
It's a J1.
J1.
And I'm an F7.
And I'm a metal machine.
It's close to midnight and he's barking at the
And we're-
moon.
And we're doing this by we haven't not paid attention to who's got what right now. We don't know what's going on. So who do you think should take the first shot, guys? Kevon and Wybold.
the Inverto-Stache has a mustache.
I think the Inverto-Battle should go first because it was there first.
True.
When was
A
it
newcomer.
It was. It
Which
was
leads
there-
us to a good question. When were they built?
Okay, 1927.
1938. I'm
Well,
Then
assuming.
that's one for the Inverto-Stache.
One
Yeah.
for the Inverto-Stache.
Because
God.
newer steamers are better.
Okay, what's your faster than these then?
I don't know. This is gonna be bad. I know this is gonna be bad.
It's a Hudson. It's just ooh.
It's not just a Hudson. It is a J1.
It's like
It
the
is-
first of
it
the
is-
terribles.
It's actually not as bad as it gets. The
Really?
J3s were worse.
What was it?
It's a 4.46.
I have a 4.29.
Okay. If you'd gotten worse than that, I would have been honestly surprised.
Okay. What is the
Inverto-Battle.
time? How much coal can you carry?
Coal. 25 tons.
Damn it! Way to be that guy.
Are you serious?
24.
I'm like, the New York Central can't possibly lose this. They have their monstrous coal flood tenders.
They only put those on the later engines. They only put those on the. They only put the massive coal tenders on the J3A Dreyfus. Because they were specially stylized for it, and they were huge tenders.
All right then. Well, how about water capacity?
12,500 gallons.
20,000 gallons.
Wow.
It's not looking great for the Commodore
is not.
Vanderbilt
It's really
right now.
not. The Inverto-Battle is a pretty weak engine as far as things go because it was a J1.
Yeah.
It's not a super special.
How many were built?
How many were built?
Um,
Of the Commodore Vanderbilts or of the J1s? Because Commodore
Of the
Vanderbilt was one.
5
Str-
F7s were built.
Oh, only 5? Wow.
the streamlined ones, Milky?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were 5
How many
versus-
survive?
And
And we push.
Half.
For the viewers, neither of them win that because they both have 0.
Unless they're in Mexico.
But by the way,
Yes,
for the
there it
record, I just wanna throw this out there. There were 204 or 205 J1s built,
none of them survived.
but only one of them was the Inverto-Battle.
Yep.
Yep. So,
Damn it.
Unfortunate, but true. When were they scrapped?
That's a good question.
I remember reading a book about them.
When was your last one withdrawn, Milky?
With Tron. 1953, I think.
Ellis?
I don't actually know when the Central dieselized completely, but they had these things for a while. They were the first Hudsons, and they kept them until the end of Steam. I can look it up real quick.
Okay.
No,
When
off the road.
did the
Yep.
New
Before
York
it's
Central...
scrapped until like some 50.
And when just when did they stop being the premier steam engines?
Milwaukee.
Well, no, that's a dumb question. When were they
Yeah.
sidelined? Like, when were they taken out of service, freight service, whatever it is? When were they put on the siding that eventually they never moved again?
Retirement.
Yeah, these things ran until they were scrapped. I know that much.
Which was...
All lines east of Cleveland were dieselized by August 7th, 1953. But
Okay, so
that's not all lines.
Okay.
Okay, the final one was when Tron in 1951.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
Okay, so that's a point for the Vanderbilt.
finally!
It's 1-5.
5. God damn. At least I can. I'm not sure what to do here. I'm not going to win any of these. I'm fairly certain I'm not going to win any of these.
What's the driver diameter?
No, not that one.
The Vanderbilt was big, though.
It was 79.
84.
84. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a big wheel.
Damn it! I had a chance to strike. I had a chance to make this my battle. Weibold has to ruin it.
Sorry, you can go again if you want.
No, it's Milky's turn.
That doesn't count as your
Milky's-
go.
Yeah, I get you go from the last one. That's why, I was giving people helping hands.
Boiler pressure.
Boiler pressure. Okay, that'd be 225.
300.
Yeah, I figured as much. A much newer engine, too.
Yeah.
Poor
How
Jordan.
about tractive effort?
42,366. Or 2,366.
50,294.
I was gonna say it has at least 50,000.
It's 1-8.
Yep.
Top speed?
Top
No
speed.
way to tell. Larger drivers, probably. So,
Yeah. So me.
that's what it's based on.
I remember
Okay.
seeing
Well,
a
we won't
Milwaukee.
give you that point.
I remember seeing a Milwaukee Road dock where they ran like 100 or something.
Yeah. They're one of those engines that were rumored to go like 120.
Yeah, up to the mouth.
Alright. Well, style points.
Style points.
Style
The,
points.
the F7 has a mustache, so
It's a mustache.
it gets.
I don't think you need to be giving him style points.
And we had pretty nice paint scheme to go with our capture cards as well.
I mean, we did too, but it was gray.
It was just gray. That
It was
doesn't
a-
count as a paint scheme.
It wasn't. Yes, it is. It's an interesting gray scheme. It's a
no,
nice
having
gray.
it roll out of the shop without paint does not count
It's
as
not.
a paint.
It's not unpainted.
Hmm.
They just forgot to paint.
How about the most efficient streamliner?
That
Cool.
is a push because they're both streamlined the same. However, I will give you the style point for the F7 streamlining is a ripoff of the
Yes.
Commodore.
Yeah.
But it was more efficient, supposed to be.
Then the
And-
Commodore, they were the same streamlining.
Yeah, it was not. They were the same.
It was probably a more efficient engine overall.
Yeah.
Um,
You're not helping yourself.
I'm not playing for me. I'm playing for this. I don't care if it's I don't care if it's his game. It's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's your minimum weight of rail?
Mine is 120.
105.
There you go.
Point, please. Please. I need that.
And he strikes back.
What's
Can
your
he
fire?
do 7 more points?
I can't. Because the only thing that's left is getting into, like, the firebox stuff, and I know I'm not gonna win.
Well, then are you gonna call it?
I guess I have to. I'm not going to win.
But it's all up to the views.
I got wrecked.
It's all.
It's
It's
all
all
to
to the viewers,
to the
except for the
viewers.
fact that the Vanderbilt is garbage.
Yeah.
That
we
was
only
a
we only
washout
paired them because
V10.
we only paired them because they look the same.
310.
310. Maybe we should put this thing against the Mallard.
What, the
For the
F7?
Inverto-
The F7. It's got a better chance.
Again, we can't get anyone to defend Mallard.
Well, yeah, I know, but in theory, maybe the Inverto-Battle versus one of us defending the Mallard would be a fair fight.
Oh god.
Because nobody cares about the Mallard.
Nobody.
Nobody loves it. It's just now.
It's overrated.
Yeah, well, anyway. On to dial control.
Well,
Ooh.
we didn't do votes. We didn't
Oh.
do you
Okay.
guys' votes.
F7.
Yeah.
Kevon.
F7.
And
Yeah.
on to dial control. I'm glad we went back and did that.
I mean, I'm sure it was, but I had to write it down in the cargos.
Alright, well, dial control.
Yes. The dial of control.
Somebody take it away.
Take it away, or don't. I don't know.
Um,
Just hang out at the PN. I did that a bit.
Woo.
I get there late.
Woo.
I got there late. Oh,
What?
I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna save it for next one.
Okay.
I'm gonna save it for. I'm gonna save it for next time. So wait, why do I have a point?
Because
I
your
don't know.
mic crapped out.
Oh,
Because you went silent for like 30 seconds.
to the views.
nope. I'm still gonna. You're not.
I'm dividing it by 0.
No, you're not. You're not keeping. You're not keeping infinity. Stop it.
Okay, then I'm dividing you by 0.
Why are you trying to outpace TJ?
Outpace TJ.
I'm not. He got up there.
I saw TJ.
He got infinity to the 3rd.
I was hanging out with TJ at the Providence Northern. I show up and he sent me a picture of Lee. And he was running it. I was busy and he sent me a picture. Lee says hi. He sent me a picture of him running my engine. And again, and I can hear it like around the side of the layout. I'm going, TJ, I'm gonna find you.
I will find you.
He's
I have a very particular
he's
set of
running it-
skills.
He's running it, dragging like 11 cars, and I'm going, how the hell? And then I realized the second to last car was a switch engine.
Oh.
And
It's like,
oh,
is it one of those cheaty baggage car with a motor in it?
no, it was just a switch engine. I just didn't see it. But we were running trains all day, every day, because we had these 3 Irish guys who were in. They were visiting, and they were
I grew up
watching.
in Dublin. I was a potato farmer. Every night I go to the pub, dance jigs, and drink ale.
Jesus. Anyways, get rid of those 2. Back to illegal Monopoly game. But we did a bunch of running. I of course got stuck on a hill. I did some realistic speed running, which means I was switching at about 5 miles an hour, and it took a while. You know, I saw a train in station. I got there, didn't know what I wanted to run, and Lee was being used. So, and Ray Schofield wasn't there, so there wasn't steam all over the place, and there wasn't a way to get into the steam box. So I get there, and I'm not sure what I want to run, and I see this main central Jeep, which is really well done. It's nicely weathered. It has sound, and it's maroon too, with gold stripes.
Maroon.
Like almost Pensy looking.
Maroon.
And I'm like, oh, that's a nice engine. I'll run that guy. I know that guy. And so I bring him out, and I bring him up the slope from lower staging because he's just all by his lonesome. And I go to find someone to consistent to, but then I notice a train in staging without an engine, which is kind of a no-no. Because the trains in staging are meant to just be taken out, run around the layout, and then parked back. So I go, let me grab that train. Train is longer than I thought it was. I managed to get it around the curve into Providence, and I'm just dragging this thing. Like, it doesn't want to come with me in the one engine. And I get it into Providence, and I just park on the main line. Like, well, I need to do something about this. And I bring out a switcher, and I do some realistic speed switching. I grab the second half of the train, I put it in Providence Yard, I put the caboose back on. In the meantime, I'm sitting on the main line, I'm waiting for the switcher to get the hell out of the yard. And TJ comes around the corner. And I'm sitting on the main line, and I parked strategically just in front of the crossover so I could throw it for him, and I did. And he comes around the corner, and I'm like, you're okay. And I come, and he runs by, and he's got 2 F40s back to back, and a baggage car, a sleeper car, and like a bunch of regional coaches, and a cafe car. They were all in lower staging, and he took a pair of Amtrak trains and put them together. One of them had the 2 F40s, but the other one had like an HHP8. And he just built a new Amtrak train out of the other 2, and was running that. I was like, what prototypically you're running? He just kind of looks at it and looks at me. He goes, I don't know, the Empire Builder? And, I have no idea. I don't know what consist would run 2 F40s and then sleeper car, baggage car, a bunch of coaches, cafe car.
Wow.
I don't think any of them are prototypically like that necessarily, but anyways, definitely wasn't the Lake Shore, because it was actually moving. So he goes around a bunch, and we're basically showing off for these visitors, because visitors. It's cool to have visitors. We don't have visitors too often.
Oh, from Ireland.
Yeah.
Especially from Ireland, laddie.
We're showing off. We're running trains all over the place, and then he puts Lee back, and he puts him in the little engine house the wrong way around. And I saw him driving off with Lee, and then later I realized, and I go to him, Lee's in there backwards, isn't he? He goes, he's in for service. That's what.
Which way? Which way was he facing?
No, he was facing. It's this little. To get the picture, it's basically a corrugated metal shed.
Uh-huh.
That's about a passenger car length, like 88 feet or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a little shorter, but normally Lee is parked in their tender first, so that I can just bring him out and then bring him out to lower staging without having to go up a significant hill. And just because it looks better that way.
Yeah, I was going to say tender pointing out is technically right.
It would be technically right if this was a steam railroad and that was a roundhouse. This is a shoddy little, there's in the existence of Lee, it makes no difference which way he's pointing.
He's
He's not going to get any maintenance.
Mm.
And the diesel just parks in front of him. Nope. There's no steam engine in here. Promise.
It's an
But he
F7.
parked him in the wrong way around, and I went, okay, well now I've got to fix this before I leave. So I pull him out, and he's facing away from Brownsville, which is Brownsville is the terminator of the branch line, and it's where it meets with staging. So, there's not actually a dead end there. But he's facing towards Brownsville, and then there's a bunch of cars in the way. There's a bunch of freight cars in the way. And then you could head up the hill the other direction, basically driving forward to this point. You'd go around the other way, away from Brownsville, through Rumford, up the hill into St. Johnsbury, and there's a turntable there. And I went, okay. But I need to take those cars with me. But I can't do it without a caboose, and there are no caboose down here. I gotta go
Why
find a
can't
caboose.
you do it without a caboose?
Because railroad rules, and I just like to follow the rules.
Hmm.
And just
Yeah, sure, Mr. Jumping Fences and Hopper Cars.
Okay, well, that following the rules there would have made things significantly less interesting.
Ugh.
Anyways, so I'm going. Okay, well, where's there a? Ooh, there's one in lower staging. So I drive Lee backwards. No freight cars attached, so it doesn't need a caboose. Drive Lee backwards through Long Tunnel out into lower staging, all the way around lower staging to the back of one of the trains that has no engine on it. I didn't want to grab the caboose off of a train with an engine because you're taking a train that's ready to go and voiding it. Someone try to drive the train out and go, oh crap, now I need to find a caboose. But grabbed the caboose off a train, dragged it all the way back, or pushed it all the way back through Long Tunnel, through Berlin, past the engine house, into Rumford, found the freight cars, realized, the freight cars are arranged in such a way that I'd have to put either the engine or the caboose next to tank cars. Let's not do that. So I rearranged the train real quick on the passing siding, put the caboose on the back, get the engine on the head, get like a fourth of the way up the hill and get stuck. I go, okay, well this was just a huge waste of time. Grab an engine out of St. Johnsbury and bring it down the grade, couple to the front of Lee, and drag him all the way up the hill. And then finally get to the turntable, turn him around, and go back. At least that way it was downhill.
Mm.
TJ this whole time is, I don't know what he's doing. He's running his Amtrak.
Amturk.
And there was some really great stuff there. There were a couple of really nice looking Jeeps that were really nicely weathered. JB, the steam Nazi, he's got steam hater, I guess, but he had a lash up of, I think they were a bunch of F units. There were 4 F units and 4 FAs and 1 FB, and the FB was the only thing that wasn't powered. There was a Boston and Maine one. There were, I think, 2 Maine Central ones and one that was something else. And they were all tied together. Or maybe it was 5 actually. Maybe it was 5 of them because they weren't all arranged the same way. It looked kind of weird, but it was a really cool looking consist, and he was dragging a bunch of stuff. And then the Irish guys got a turn at driving stuff around. They parked. Staging, it's the main line is pretty much indistinguishable from the actual yard tracks. So they ended up parking them on the main line, and JB's like, "Whoops, we'll fix this." But it's all the real interesting stuff that happened in Providence Northern. TJ was running this really great end wow sound. It was a 410-2, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was one of Ray's engines. Speaking of Ray's engines, there was a picture of the work on his layout, and it's not too different from a little while ago. There's a brass K28
Woo!
in the foreground. Yeah. And I'm just looking at TJ's screen. He's watching the video, and the train goes around, and he pauses it and goes, "Hey, let's look brass." It's just sitting next to the track. It's completely unpainted. It's super shiny.
Well,
It's like, oh dear me.
It's better. It's better than the rest of those brass HON3 engines, which you look at it and you're like, I think it's supposed to be brass because it's kind of yellow, but it's so blotchy and corroded. It's just like,
Yeah, poor thing.
Poor old brass engines. They're not cared for because of Japan.
Wow.
Hey, Mark is a brass engine from Japan, so. Or,
Yeah, I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Needs the one engine I do want in HO. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's Providence Northern for me.
But yeah.
How's your railroad? How's the Denver New Orleans?
It's good. We've fallen victim to some sort of epidemic because, like, of the 5 or 6 guys that are usually there, like,
Two.
not many people are coming in because one of them had family in from out of town, another one their family was in the hospital, another one their family was in the hospital, another guy was out of town, and one guy has pneumonia.
Ooh.
Oh.
And this is a pretty small group of guys.
Oh God.
Sorry. It's not like we have 15 or 20 people coming every week. We have like 5 or 6 coming every week, and we have like 4 that are blech. So, yeah, we're not getting great attendance right now, but otherwise everything's going well.
Run into any hurricanes lately at New Orleans?
No, but we did have rain that like threatened to knock down the building.
Oh no.
Oh.
Like we got rain.
Not just rain. At least
Yeah.
at least the rain was on the exterior of the building.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought
I'm
the water
afraid-
heater was going to explode for a second, but it was thunder, not the water heater.
I'm afraid to go back to the NEB&W in the winter or in the fall and just you know,
Yeah, boy.
the poor Nebula. At least we have our own door now.
Ding.
Ow.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm building. My current project is for the dual gauge section up in Parker. I've realized that we've sort of tried to go on and off with operations, and now that the narrow gauge is in service and the other narrow gauge guy has pneumonia,
Yeah.
I'm sort of just left in charge of the narrow gauge, and I'm trying to carry out switching duties as they normally are, but
Oh no.
trouble is I don't have a decent switcher to my name. Like I've got an S2 and an 060 that are both DC.
Oh.
And I have a DCC decoder around here somewhere that I need to find and drop in that 060
Yeah, that would probably be helpful.
to get it serviceable. But I can't do the switching up there on my own. So what I've had is, earlier I think like 3 weeks ago we had a freight come in that had 2 Berks on the head of it,
Oh jeez.
and the 2 Berks linked together managed to do the switching.
linked together.
Yeah.
Oh dear me.
It was double heading Berks switching the yard.
That's really a shame. JDur's missing this. I wonder what happened to him.
I don't know. But anyway, so I've decided that it's time that I'm going to use one of my narrow gauge engines to switch the dual gauge yard because the dual gauge is on the narrow gauge DCC system anyway.
Oh, okay.
So I'm building an idler car, which for those people who don't know is essentially a little teeny tiny stubby flat car that weighs like a ton.
And has one coupler on one side and one
Yeah,
coupler on the
it has
other.
it has a standard gauge coupler on one side, and then it has 2 shanks for narrow gauge couplers on the other end. But because it's HO, it's just going to have 2 narrow gauge couplers, one for whatever way that it's turned,
Yeah.
so it can be biased to that side of the dual gauge because it's centered on the standard gauge track.
Yeah.
That's really it out of DNNO. I think I also talked about this briefly last week when I went on hiatus, but
Yeah, when you disappeared.
yeah, 7-year project, the Denver and Rio Grande Western Narrow Gauge Division, like all of it for Tane. Using micro DEM data from the Navy, I can recreate the terrain, and then, yeah,
Yeah.
not really much
Good
news
luck.
on that except the announcement for that project. So that's something to look out for. Yeah.
Speaking of big projects, I'm going to fill in for JDur here and say he's going to fill in his standard gauge first and then release like the beta and then finish the narrow gauge
Ooh.
of his map.
Whoa.
I can't remember precisely what I was going to say about it. I don't know. Something got me distracted on
He-
on that subject. It just made me think of his layout specifically, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And that's basically about all there is to be said for that. Lastly, Gmod, happy 2nd anniversary, happy 2nd birthday, FCNN.
Woo!
The FCNN server is the top train building server for Gmod, and they just this last Thursday, celebrated their 2nd, birthday for running the server as a dedicated server. So go on, check them out. They're real nice guys. They all build trains.
come on.
Look them up on Steam.
You might be able to meet some of us on there.
Yeah. Are you
It's happened before.
Are you the? Did we talk about that on here?
Yeah,
We
we
did.
did.
We
I
did.
think we did. Okay.
We talked about that when remember how we were saying we also found, or TBA found 2 people that have heard of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So JDur is gone.
JDur is I don't
Dead.
know.
He's
whatever,
dead.
JDur. R.I.P. JDur. Love that guy. Oh. Nope. Lost it again. I don't remember. Damn it. What?
I forgot one thing for RMR.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're the live Steam club that's wedged between a dam, a spillway, and a river.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All the rain has happened, so yeah.
Are you sort of glub?
We're not allowed to go in right now,
Oh.
so we'll see. We're
Ooh.
not really sure how it's
God.
done.
I hope your locomotive can drive on water.
They get so much.
Got
Float.
so hooked. Put some floaties on it, it'll be fine.
Put some water things.
Other things.
Wasserwings. I'll build a locomotive Wasserwacker.
Oh God.
I can
Also
use
drive
that.
it. Drives
Yeah,
on the bottom
use
of
So Milky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here is mine. I had a boiler partially completed for the K36 that I've been working on for the past few weeks.
Yay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you were working on that.
And guess what I found on the downlink station that's helpful towards my route?
Uh-oh.
Push so
yeah.
much now
Giant
to
chunk
stay.
of land, right?
Yes, giant chunk of land for my route.
Whoa.
Hmm.
Now I need a gigantic chunk of land to connect those gigantic chunks of land.
Whoa.
That shouldn't be too hard, right?
Well,
It's very hard.
yeah.
Just 40 bucks.
Having looked into this, the micro DEM stuff for trains and getting this all ported in, it's either a process that is all the pain or a $30 piece of software.
Yeah.
Yes. The $30
All
piece
of
of
the-
software is really nice, though. You have
All of
It is-
the-
it is
for
nice.
For Weibold, all of the pain just involves Windows.
I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it'd be like, oh yeah, we can do that with a little bit of time. I'm like going off of a 6-year-old compact laptop that I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so how do I start it? How do you Windows?
And that's about
You
all
push,
I have.
you push the power button.
Push power button. Okay. Is that the one labeled on or the one labeled gates?
Gates. The
The gates button.
Bill Gates button.
So,
Well,
Kevon, do
speaking
you
of-
have anything?
Yes. What more than I can say than Tane? Tane, it's just a mess.
It's a mess.
It
Yeah.
is a complete mess. I hope if you got it, I hope you get your money back, maybe.
I still haven't
But-
downloaded it. I'm
Yeah,
avoiding
I
downloading
still
it.
haven't got a Mac version of it.
Yes, the Mac version is coming out in early June, so a few more days. No, but Tane, it's just been a mess. The graphics, I have to say, are absolutely amazing. Like, they did a wonderful job on that, doing the scenery. The game looks plenty nice when the content works. I've been trying to import all my content. I have literally almost all the content ever for trains, and nope, you can't import
Yeah.
it. Terminus, Val, and Anaconda, it's just a blue splotch.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
Don't import it.
Yes.
It's
But
terrible.
thank you, MV3. I guess you worked hard on this game, but please keep
Quote,
working
Work
and fix
harder.
everything.
Work hard, get smart, reach your goals, and make a good game.
And arrange more blocks.
And arrange more blocks
What would
because
be
we have
great-
come to the end of the line.
Not quite.
Well, not quite, but
We've got a couple things to say first.
okay. I will just finish up. What if we got all the train sims and put them together? Like Run 8 has the best multiplayer, Trains has the
Yeah.
best air, Trains Railworks has the best graphics, MSTS has the best content. If we just merge them together,
But who has the best physics?
Railworks.
Railworks. No,
Open
Run 8.
rails.
Run 8
Hmm.
has the best.
Open
I
rails.
think.
No, Railworks.
Open
Okay.
rails.
Open rails.
Open rails, yes.
When you reach the end
Train
of the
fever,
line,
everyone. Open TTT, the best physics.
Locomotion, best AI.
If there's anything
Oh,
we know,
God,
it's not
don't-
Rails of War.
yes, that's
Rails of War.
Which we will have news regarding that next week.
Hopefully.
However, right now,
no.
also for quick maintenance of voice segment, which is not in here,
Well,
but
actually, we have to. We should talk about how we're currently banging out some voice acting for the earlier episodes of the Iron Horseman Chronicles. So that's getting underway. When we
Yes.
finish this, Weibold and I are going to start working on an episode because we said we would yesterday.
yes,
And also something dark side. I almost have the terraining done on the 2-foot gauge. I'm getting there.
the Dromlins.
The mega drumlins at this point. The pit of death. You know, it's all being worked on, and then I have to take the mountain division from Milky, which decided to start vaporizing apparently.
yeah. Start to corrupt half of the town.
Oh boy.
And
Yeah.
some things are slightly missing from some towns. And
Some
I've got to do the basic track work, and then Weibold volunteered to do the terrain. God rest your soul.
Wait, what?
You said you were going to
On what?
on the
Yeah,
mountain
you-
division.
On the
You were-
Mountain Division?
You said you were like, you know, I was like, oh, I'll take care of it, and then you were like, no, don't you think You
I said that for the
basically-
Gorge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the Mountain Division, that's the Gorge.
Okay then.
They're the same name at this point.
No, it's not. The
Oh.
Gorge is a geographical feature. The Eastern Division is an entire mainline
Not the
segment.
Eastern Division. Well, I'm gonna hand that off to you for terrain work, and then I'll do more of it.
Okay, well, real quick for maintenance of way. Terminus Live coming up here in a couple weeks.
2 episodes, in fact, I believe.
Yeah.
Summer school.
Yes, the 27th.
Yes.
So we have
Yay.
episode, what is this one? This is episode 28. It's episode 30. Is going to be on, produced on Saturday the 27th, released on Sunday the 28th, and it will be Terminus Live featuring myself, Weibold, and O'Gillies,
Woo. As well as a couple of other guests.
as well as a couple of other guests, and possibly broadcast from Train Mountain, not broadcast, but possibly filmed at Train Mountain itself.
Woo.
Woo.
Depending on how we
Likely
work
filmed
that.
there.
Likely. Depending on...
Anyway, we're taking questions for if you guys have any questions for us about railroad interests, us personally, anything like that. We will
basically
be answering
Q&A.
questions. Yeah, we'll be Terminus Q&A for episode 30 at
All
At
3
live.
of you that might have questions.
yeah
Hmm.
Q&A time.
Q&A.
So with that, we reach.
With that, we reach the end of the line. Unless anybody has anything else to say.
No,
Summer
So-
school sucks.
I still wish I remembered what I was going to say about JDur's line. I just can't. I can't. Whatever words, whatever. Anyways,
yeah.
JDur is missing, so I don't know. He's got. Oh, he's still. Oh my God, JDur. Okay. I've got JDur's right here, I guess.
Yep. Okay,
But first up is Weibold,
with dividing by 0.
who's approaching infinity.
We've got I've recently added a new jurisdiction, which I will talk about in depth next time because the time just didn't really allow for this episode. And that is the Herze-Schmalzbahnen in Deutschland.
By the way, I just want to point out that remember that video that you said was too short?
Yes.
We totally fit.
Wait, what?
We are. If we had used that video, we would be coming into the station at the end right now.
Oh.
God.
This was like the news week. I was tempted to go with it, but I was worried about going over.
You could still overlay the.
It's. I would have
wow, everybody, welcome to Pittsburgh. It's beautiful.
I would have to go back and sit down and record that. Also, we couldn't because somebody monetized it. Forgot.
Oh,
that's right.
All right.
Hearts.
Herze-Schmalzbahn.
Do you have a link to go with that, or like something I can write down in the cargoes? Because how the hell do you spell that?
H-A-R-Z.
Fine. Anyways, I am the man who arranges the blocks that continue to fall from up above. JDur is dead. Kevon.
I'll leave you with this.
It is a video.
Oh.
Thomas the Tank Engine rules.
Oh no. Okay, I'll see what that is in a bit. But Milky.
I have something stupidly awesome. SP meets Uri Conwell.
Oh,
It's
no.
a cool picture of Conwell and the Rainbow Years with Southern Pacific flown in there. Looks a cool picture. Could be my next desktop background.
Alright, well, all those are going to be down in the terminations below, including the link to the video, the song which I was singing, which is, in case you want the history of Russia, to the Tetris theme.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, look at an oil train. It's going to blow up.
Oh no, not back in crude.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.